It is Stephen Fry.
And the French have absolutely gone.
Stephen Fry.
And the French have absolutely.
It's a chorus that cannot be ignored, a chorus that cannot be deterred. This time can be different because this campaign for the presidency of the United States of America is different.
A recent article by the Association of American Physicians and Surgeons suggests that Barack Obama is deliberately using techniques of neuro-linguistic programming, or NLP, a covert form of hypnosis developed by Dr. Milton Erickson. For example, one fundamental tool of conversational hypnosis, as it is called, is pacing and leading, a way for the hypnotist to bypass the listener's critical faculty by associating repeated statements that are unquestionably accurate with messages that he wants to convey. In his Denver acceptance speech, Obama repeatedly used the phrases, "That's why I stand here tonight," or "Now is the time," and "This moment," repeated 14 times. Paces are connected to the lead words, such as and, as, because, or that is why. For example, "We need change," a statement which is so abstract that one cannot disagree with it, and "That is why I will be your next president." Some other very obvious techniques of transinduction used by Barack Obama include extra slow speech, repeated abstract metaphors, vagueness, chains of imagery, and the raising of emotional tension. Frequently, hypnotists will have their subjects count backwards as part of hypnosis induction. Obama uses the same technique in his speeches. He often uses repeating patterns of numbers which are abstract and seem to have little connection to the content of the speech. This is a distraction technique of hypnosis, assigning a meaningless task to the rational mind to distract it, thus leaving the subject unguarded by the rational mind and open to the hypnotist's suggestion. Obama said in one speech, quote, "A light will shine down from somewhere. It will shine upon you. You will experience an epiphany, and you will say to yourself, quote, I have to vote for Barack," end quote. Note that he is not presenting people with a choice. You will have to vote for Barack. It is not a logical choice, but rather one directed by subconscious force. Why would a politician make such a statement? Obama's techniques seem to be especially effective on young people and highly educated people, both considered to be especially susceptible to techniques of hypnosis. The dictator Adolf Hitler is said to have hypnotized the nation of Germany, one of the most technologically advanced, sophisticated, and culturally rich nations the world has ever known. And yet, it became the subject of one man as a dictator who utterly destroyed that country.
Hitler's hold on power was fortified by his skill as a speechmaker. At carefully staged Nazi rallies, with swastikas everywhere, he inflamed the emotions of his followers.
The Germany of the 20s and 30s was in social and economic despair and looked for a leader who would free them from the Great Depression. The man with a promise of hope was Adolf Hitler, who claimed he was ordained of God to usher in 1,000 years of peace and prosperity. His hypnotic powers manipulated an entire nation to surrender its collective mind to him.
Since the Bilderberg Group first met, the exact purpose of the talks has never been fully explained.
But they had an important announcement about swine flu today from the Lieutenant Governor of Iowa. Here, pay close attention. Important announcement. Swine flu.
There is a plate on the floor that shows the symbols AUAG. Some may say that this is related to gold and silver. However, one of the sponsors of the airport discovered a new deadly strain of hepatitis known as Australian antigen, and this is also symbolized by AUAG. What is scary is that this symbol is located right in front of a mural on a wall that is about genocide.
Australians are being warned tonight about a deadly flu that started here and is currently causing death and despair in the US and now looks like returning home.
Australian health authorities can now detain and disinfect people suspected of carrying swine flu. The new power is intended to combat the threat of the deadly virus going pandemic.
In the news, drastic measures to make sure every student is vaccinated in Natomas. School officials went door to door with a nurse offering the Tdap vaccine to meet a new state mandate. Well, kids won't be allowed back to school Monday if they haven't been vaccinated. The district will continue door-to-door visits.
Day to day. Hello, this is Heyman Matlock with the Natomas Unified School District.
He has a list of more than 40 left to get vaccinated. So, with a traveling nurse on hand, district officials are now left to track down kids who may be falling through the cracks.
There are a number of kids that we're finding out in our home visit today that are truant.
The N1 virus has made thousands of people across the country sick. Many have died, and some worrying that it could grow into a full-blown pandemic. Well, one state, the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, is preparing for that with a very controversial bill. Massachusetts proposing legislation that would allow police to forcefully quarantine residents and even impose martial law without a warrant.
He can authorize non-healthcare licensed personnel, read that to mean police, to vaccinate people against their will. Now, can they force adults to take vaccination? No. They will incarcerate adults without a trial, without charges, without even a search warrant who refuse to be vaccinated. This is what the statute authorizes. It also authorizes the statute also authorizes the police to remove children from adults, vaccinate them against the will of the child and the will of the parents.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street. There's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know the air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living rooms. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crying in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
Our third story out front tonight, drugs known as bath salts being blamed for a gruesome scene in Miami. This is a naked man. He was shot dead on Saturday by police because he was gnawing off another man's face. Obviously, that sounds horrific, and it is. I want to warn you that the pictures we're about to show you are very disturbing. 31-year-old Rudy Eugene was described to be in a zombie-like state when he was caught by police. Armando Aguilar, president of the Miami Fraternal Order of Police, suspects Eugene was under the influence of so-called bath salts. When he was found, what he had done to this man's face, the victim was 65 years old, truly horrific. Apparently, all that's left is his goatee. His eyeballs were gone, his face. It is unbelievable.
First at 11, a man is fighting for his life after he was reportedly attacked and his face half-eaten by a naked man near the MacArthur Causeway. When police arrived on this truly bizarre scene, they say they were forced to open fire on the alleged attacker and kill him. CBS 4's Tiffany Helber joins us live from Jackson Memorial Hospital, where the victim is recovering. Tiffany, this is truly odd and a very disturbing story. What do you know?
Cynthia, certainly a first for me in my career. You know, police sources are telling me that the man rushed here to this hospital had no face left, that he was completely unrecognizable after this attack.